Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
We all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once, and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Welcome to the No Fruit Podcast,
where we talk about our life experiences with a spiritual twist. Hosted by Maurice
and Kafa. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
We love y'all. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all for listening to us.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Kafa.
Yes.
Question for you.
Yes.
Do you think jealousy is good?
Do I think jealousy is good?
Yes.
When it comes to you and me, yes.
What? Why you say that?
Definitely.
Why?
It keeps things in check, you know?
Okay. And
yes.
What do you mean by keeps things in check?
I mean, just, you don't get so comfortable, type thing. No, jealousy,
I mean, what? No, don't switch it up yet. Don't switch it up yet. I mean, so you're saying that
yes,
jealousy is good because it keeps us
on our toes.
On our toes.
No, I don't know.
What do you think?
I mean, I think overall, it's godly to be jealous, right?
It is. It can be.
I mean,
it can be.
The Bible says that God is a jealous God.
Yeah, very much so.
And I want to be like God.
Okay.
I want to be godly. So I'm jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want you to understand something.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a I don't know how to take that. Like, I understand what you're talking about in reference to being jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it can keep us on our toes, right? So right. If I see someone of the male species, speaking to you,
yes.
Would I get a little oomph into it? Yeah, I might a little bit. Depending on who it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And does that really make me like, all right, Maurice, you gotta
step your game up.
Step my game up one way or the other, whether it's, me speaking more sweetly. Or, possibly dressing a little bit differently, putting on a certain kind of cologne, and that could just be Dove soap. So it doesn't have to be something so deep and major, at that particular time. So, can jealousy be a situation that it could be a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it does, but I think, because, jealousy generally has a negative connotation to it.
It does. And I think people take it out of context. That's why
right,
I say,
right.
Well, if God was a jealous God, should we be jealous? So how about you, Maurice? Are you jealous? And what do you think about jealousy?
Am I jealous? Am I a jealous person? Overall, no, to be honest. Because if again, someone is talking to you, where I feel sometimes like, yo, why are you talking to my chick? Vibe, but then there's another side of me that jumps over like, well, look, I got her, so you could talk to her now and whatever, but I know where she's going to. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So am I jealous? No. I don't have a vibe or that mindset of, hey, I want what somebody else has.
And I think that's the thing. I think we get it so confused, the difference between jealousy and envy.
Right.
I think wanting something that somebody else has is being envious or coveting something. So jealous, I think, is somewhat different. I think envy and coveting something is something that's inward. Right. You just want it because somebody else got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, jealousy is like, it's not necessarily, I'm not gonna say trust issue, but it deals with the covenant, the promise, that you and I have. We're in a relationship. So jealousy, it deals with the relationship, it deals with the promise, it deals with the bond that we have.
Right.
And if you feel like maybe that's being tested or being tried, you're kind of jealous. And like, that's how God was. God made a covenant. He had a promise with the people. You're not going to have any other gods but me. And they kind of acted a little foolish. And God was like, yo, I'm a jealous guy. Like, yo, I did all this for you. You're not supposed to bow down to somebody else. You're not supposed.
I think that's what we get confused.
Right.
So let's be a little more, let's give them a little bit more of an address of being Exodus, the 20th chapter, where it talks about God. You shall not make yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Mm-hmm. And what he's talking about in this is that, as you're talking about, he's not a jealous guy, and I'm sorry, he's a jealous guy in the fact that you're giving something to someone else that actually belongs to him.
Right. Whether
it is worship, your service, your praise, all that belongs to him, because he's the one that breathed life into you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I think that's one of the things that we get confused, as you stated, whether it's jealousy, whether it's envy.
I think, again, jealousy is, whether something that's due to me. Like if my kids started calling, somebody down the street mom and dad,
mm-hmm.
and giving them that honor, then hello.
Yeah, I'm going to be jealous because, I'm the one that gave you buff.
Yes.
I'm the Bill Cosby. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out, vibe.
You know
so.
what I mean? I changed this and I cleaned up after that, whatever. So how dare you have the audacity to do such of a thing?
Right.
So I think it's truly different than being envious and being, coveted, having covetedness.
Right.
I think it's different in that realm. Now, I think jealousy can go. I think there's a healthy jealousy, and then there's some unhealthy, sinful jealousness. That can happen. And I'm leaning on the healthier side, the more spiritual, godly side of jealousy. Not on the sinful side. I'm not trying to, hurt nobody or anything like that. But certainly I'm on the more better, godly
and I think that
side of things.
I think, like you said, sometimes we use it, unfortunately, interchangeably.
Yes.
Where we understand that really when with our envy, it's a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck.
Right.
So
I want what you got.
Right.
Not so much like, hey, jealousy to me is almost like a heartbreak type thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a hurtful feeling. It's a reaction to something else that happened. Where envy is just like, you just walking around like, oh, I want a red car like that. You know what I mean? Like, why can't I have a red car like, no, that's not what it is. Jealousy is more so, I have a red car, you know what I mean? And is not appreciated or whatever like that.
So let's put it in simpler terms. Jealousy fears to lose what it has, right? Where envy is pained at seeing someone else seeing another
have it, right?
So
like you said, you might be pained by seeing a gentleman talk to me, fearful of you're going to lose what you have. You're going to lose your good thing. You're going to lose your wife,
right?
So you feel jealous about that,
right?
Or if your wife is showing attention to someone else, you feel jealous about that attention because you feel as though, again, with that bond, that attention is owed to you or due to you, just like, God is. So, again, God is jealous. God even said his name is jealous.
So let me ask you this then.
Yes.
Do you think jealousy is good in church?
Again, I think there's a godly way to be jealous, and then that you got to watch it with the envy and all those other things. Where are you at on this?
So
when does it become sinful?
So
when does it become ungodly?
So, and here's the reason I'm asking, because when, for an example, if a member goes to visit another church on a consistent basis, do you become jealous?
You ain't talking about me, are you?
Well, what church you visiting?
Okay.
You visiting some? What?
Huh? Oh, were you talking about somebody else? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. You talking about somebody else?
I'm asking a question.
Yes.
If a pastor,
yes,
which I am not one, sees his member going to another church on a consistent basis, does that pastor have a right to be jealous?
What do you think? You asked the question.
I mean, I think that is a very interesting place to be in, because of that individual, that member. Why are they going to that other church?
Again, I think it goes back to what I was saying. For me, is what is that relationship? What is that bond? What is that connection? Just like, what bond did God have with his people before, leading them to the promised land? And then they broke that bond. So he was, jealous about that. So again, what is that bond and that connection, that promise, that covenant between the pastor and the church member?
I think, when it comes down to it, all right, so look, I think when it comes to a smaller church, right, and you start to see your member going to a bigger church, is there an opportunity to be jealous because of, and then I think there's also that fine line of envy, because what happens is the smaller church could see their member going to this other church and like, yo, I'm jealous. Like, not saying that individual is property or true possession, but, you don't want to see your member leave, whether you're, whatever, I think level of what level of investment you put into that individual. Sometimes you don't want to see the investment leave, right? So and I don't think people want to lose what they have, in that. But I think there's also a sense of envy because that larger church, the appearance of, one, they're just larger. Number two, what do they have that I cannot provide?
Right. But I think, again, it goes back to, well, what is that covenant? What is that church providing? What is that pastor providing to that individual, to that parishioner? And sometimes you can only take people to so far. You can only teach them but so much, and then they have to go somewhere else. And if you're a true man of God from me, or a woman of God as a leader, you have to recognize that and then be able to let things go and let people move on and let them take what nuggets you have given to them and maybe be a blessing to somewhere else and be a blessing to somebody else. I can't say because I spent 3 years at a job and I went to a training every 6 months that they're not going to let me go, when I'm ready to move on to a higher position at another organization.
I think that's really interesting.
You know what I mean? I understand you're trying to put it in a church perspective, but I'm also trying to, okay, well, what happens when, you're talking about, well, this leader in the church, this pastor has poured into and has an investment in this parishioner, in this church member, and the church member then moves on to another place. Are you jealous? Are you envious? Are you sad? What is the correct emotion to have? Again, likewise, in the secular realm, when I've been at a job for 2 to 5 to 10 years, and I've been in trainings and I've been motivated and encouraged and sat in trainings and things like that, and then something comes up where there's another job and another position available in another organization, should my supervisor and leadership team feel jealous, or should they feel envious, or should they just encourage me?
I think that there's a sense of jealousy, more especially when, that particular employee is a hard worker. When the employee,
if they're not hard worker, it's good riddance.
Well, yeah, at that point, but I think if they're a good worker, I think there is a level of jealousy because of, they can, I benefit from you being with me or around me.
But
or
again,
whatever.
What was that covenant? Hey, I'm providing you this training so you're dedicated, to me. No, it's not a marriage, I don't think, in that realm. It's not a bond in that realm. I think we're providing you information so that you can do a better job while you're here.
All right. So for those of you who, and I'm about to go a whole nother space, right?
Okay. I got my seatbelt.
All right. So I think what happens, I know we kind of change gears a little bit because we start talking about jobs and stuff, right? And I think in a situation like this, if any of you heard the term golden handcuffs, if not, listen to my other podcast called That Will Never Work Podcast. And I talk about golden handcuffs and what that really means. Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting at is that when people use a situation where they can pull you back in, right? Another type of means to say, hey, you know what? We are, we're going to provide you, with a bonus or with another sense of a token of appreciation. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then I think that's where the golden handcuff mindset comes in, and that's where it holds people back. So what I'm getting at is that if you're a church member and, this church over here has a ministry that you really like. So for an example, in Philly, there's a group called Chosen 300, right?
Right.
And not all churches participate in that or whatever else. But I know that my aunt deals with them based out of her home church. Mm-hmm. So if that's something that I like to do with Chosen 300, because they go out and feed the homeless and, do food, have a soup kitchen on Thanksgiving, right? If that's something that you want to do, and but then all of a sudden, because I'm a pastor and I see like, hey, you're doing that with that church on a consistent basis, do I automatically have to turn my church into a soup kitchen just so I can pull you back? Is that really what you want? I mean, and originally that sounds like a great idea because, but are you doing it for all the wrong reasons? And is that individual, that member, staying back for all the wrong reasons? Are they no longer, doing what God had actually maybe even called them to do, what the Holy Spirit might have spoken to them for them to do? Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes we get caught up in all these other emotions, jealousy and envy and all these other things that helps us go out of our selves, out of our character, mm-hmm. And then unfortunately we're doing something that's not of God. And then is he really going to bless that?
I mean, I think what it all comes down to is communication. So, whether it's communication in your marriage, well, hey, you were talking to this female and I felt some kind of way.
Right.
Jealous, if you will.
Right.
So I wish you wouldn't do that because I have that fear that something may turn up of it and I could lose you.
Right.
That's the feeling.
Right.
That causes that jealousy of, hey, I'm fearful I'm going to lose what we have.
Right.
I'm going to lose our covenant. I'm going to lose our bond. I'm going to lose this connection. I'm going to lose this marriage. So through communication, I can communicate that to you, and then that can help to decrease my jealousy, if you will. So likewise, within the workplace, hey, I'm looking at other jobs. You have that communication. Perhaps something else could change or whatever, but it would be no hard feelings because maybe the job is saying, great, we've taken you as far as you can. We don't have any upper management positions here for you.
Right.
So we encourage you to go ahead and keep moving on. A good manager would push that and encourage that. So, and then likewise, as you're saying within the church, where's that covenant? What's that communication? What is that one is speaking to the other? So if I have, or you have a member within said church and they go off and they're doing a great food ministry somewhere, or they're traveling abroad and feeding people in, impoverished countries, great for them.
Right.
That looks good, and that's their calling. Mm-hmm. That's what they have for them. That's what God has called them to do. And for me to communicate with them and help them be in alignment with God, that they can take that to as far as they can. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Lord blesses and provides guidance to the head of that ministry, being the pastor or, whatever leader it is within the church, that they, oh, great, sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, you're doing all this stuff. We would really, Lord has been laying it on my heart to do that here. Let's communicate and have a discussion on how we can bring that type of service here. Mm-hmm. Then that's the way I think it should go. But again, it's that communication. Like, there's no sense of walking around being jealous because somebody else is doing something, or you're fearful that you're going to lose that member because they're going off to this food pantry program at another ministry somewhere else. Because likewise, your workplace could be a ministry. I'm going to get mad because you want to work every day and you feeding somebody. Like, what if that was your job? They paid you for that.
But I think we get caught up in some, when somebody said we major in minors.
Right.
A lot of times, so I think that's a minor situation, but we look at it in a major perspective, so we just have to monitor our feelings.
Yes.
We need to understand really what is jealousy and what is envy.
We have to pray about it.
Right.
And God will reveal it unto us, what the differences are, and ask God to check us. Like, Lord, look, something is going on. I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm all up in my feelings. I'm, so emotional.
Right.
On this emotional roller coaster.
Right.
So with all of that, the Lord will provide discernment and help you through it. I know it. You know what I mean? Then you can call it out for what it is and be able to then pray about that sin, if it is a sin, or that sinful nature that, or that negative thing that could lead to a sin.
One thing I would like to say, that if you don't think you're ready for it, don't pray for it.
Right.
Because you may think you're ready, but once it's shown to you exactly what the real deal is, you better ask for some understanding and forgiveness and, all the above, because you could say, Lord, open up my eyes, but you're going to say, prepare me for what I'm about to see, prepare me for what I'm about to hear, because sometimes we ask for stuff and not knowing that we're going to get the answer. and a lot of times, we don't like what comes back, in a lot of cases. So I'm just asking for, even though if you're praying for that, because I was going to go the easy route. Just try to help understand. You get what I mean? But
the Bible says, lean not to your own understanding.
But I was just trying. I'm sorry.
In all thy ways.
And I understand, and I'm not trying to go against that. I was just trying to give you a way out. Because if you pray for it and God really shows it to you, I just want you to be prepared. Because sometimes we are not ready for the answer.
You sound like a man from experience. Speaking from experience.
Most definitely.
That's right. Be careful what you pray for, y'all, because the Lord might give it to you. And as Maurice says, you might not be ready for it.
And you might be more ready for it than you anticipate. So I just want you to understand that, hey, don't be surprised one way or the other. That's just a phrase, like, be surprised, eyes get big, eyebrows always in a surprise state, whatever it is. But,
I can't with you. Not today. I can't. Eyebrows always in a surprise stage.
Look, it could be.
You got people walking around looking like clowns.
Look, it could be. Most definitely.
Goodness.
Most definitely. But you know what, y'all? You know, we hopefully that you have enjoyed this. Make sure that you just, tell us what your vibe is on this.
Yeah, let us know. Are you jealous?
Wow.
Is it all right to be jealous? What do y'all think about God being a jealous God? Let us know.
And you know what?
What's that?
Hey, Kafa, what do we want them to do?
Maurice, we want everyone to stay fit with Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow, share, comment, and subscribe to the No Fruit Podcast.
Continue to listen to us on your favorite podcast channels.
And look for new episodes every Thursday.
We thank y'all very much for listening to us.
May God bless you all.
Peace.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
We all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once, and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.